I don't think anyone can hear the music, so I'm just gonna do it as is. Um, if you can, well, I'll know when the video's done. But I wanted to do a video. This one is gonna be. I wanted to do it all along, but the thing was, I couldn't do it at the time because all the stuff that was going on. So I just want to do a video. This one is gonna be about Black American culture. I saw a video on this. It was specific to a person that I have to do with her channel a bit, help her channel out a bit. And she was just talking about the different things that people associate Black culture with, Black American culture, and it's always so weird to me because it's like I don't get it. So how is like the types of dishes people consider Black American sound like they're Southern to me. And to me, I mean, like, I come from the Midwest, so my family, nobody has like black, um, what they call Black American food. But I always am like, well, why would they be expected to if they're from the Midwest? You know what I mean? If you're in the Midwest, your food's gonna be different than someone in the South. And I never understand what is the difference between Black American uh, food or soul food and Southern food. They seem exactly the same to me. Also, another part of it that I didn't understand was just like, is it? I'm wondering. This is more a question, I guess you could say. So, do they just assume that Black Americans come from the South, or that our ancestors come from the South? And I know some people are like, well, my family might be in the North, but my family's from the South. I know that because my dad's side is that way, but I don't know my dad's side like that. I know my mom's side, but they're all from the North. But I'm like, somebody's got to have family in the North. I mean, if you think of it, the North did have black people that worked, before the Civil War. So, I mean, I don't really understand why the Black American culture is just basically the Southern culture. And then there's the whole thing about the music, which is weird. Like they were talking about like 90s music, hip hop music. It's like I don't understand. I never understood how is hip hop a Black American cultural trait, basically. I never understood that. Like it was just made recently, right? Black African culture doesn't have hip hop music, does it? Personally, for me, it's weird because it's like I don't think my mom grew up with hip hop music. I don't think. I really don't. I think it was just regular pop music and some classical music, and that's about it. I grew up with like hard rock, metal, um, alternative, some country music. When I was like 5, and for some weird reason, when I was 5, I had a thing for not a sexual thing. I don't mean like that. I mean a thing like I looked up to her. Um, for like Britney Spears or something. She's really big, so I guess I listened to some pop music. I don't really remember it though, honestly. But that's as hip hop as it gets for me. I don't think Britney Spears is hip hop though, is she? I think somebody said that Pink was hip hop, right? In the beginning, but I don't think Britney Spears was. But yeah, it's just like to me, I don't know. It's just like I haven't really understood really much about the idea that there's such a thing as Black American culture in the first place. But the things that people talk about that associate it with like Black Americans, I just never experienced it myself growing up, which is like how Black American is this culture if some Black Americans never even encountered it. You know? I mean, like I would think it would be more of a Black American cultural aspect if Black Americans are familiar with it. I'm a Black American. I'm not familiar with it. No. And I've seen people who didn't even seem like they were Black American who would be considered included in the Black American culture, especially when people go far with it. Like, some people will try and act like Black American culture has to do with things you wear, clothing you wear, or the way you speak. And it's like, those things I've seen on people who weren't black. So how is it so much a black culture thing? At this point, then you get people who are like not black thinking they're culturally more black than you are. When it's like that wasn't even a black trait in the first place. Now, to me, from my perspective, as far as Americans, I've always thought Black American culture was white American culture because we have the same culture because we're both American. You know, America is a melting pot. There's no native people. Well, there's Native Americans, but for the most part, most people aren't natives. So white Americans aren't natives. So, I mean, we both kind of blend in together as a culture, in my opinion. And I never understand that, too. It's kind of, to me, in a racist view because people always say America is a melting pot. But somehow black Americans can't be a melting pot, and that it's almost like because we're black, we must be an outsider. I think maybe some racist people might see it that way, but I never understand why many other black Americans see it that way. Like, America is a melting pot, right? So then, wouldn't we melt into that pot? I don't know. That's just some thoughts I have on Black American culture. It's just like, to me, I don't understand what it is, how it's distinct from like Southern culture, and how, you know, it's associated with certain types of music, clothing sometimes, and how you talk or whatever. I've seen that sometimes, not often, but the music thing, I see that often, and I'm always like, really? Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me because it's like I don't think any of my family has been like associated with that in the upper generations. Maybe my cousins, for example, but not my aunts, uncles, grandparents, great grandparents, so forth. I don't think anyone was influenced by that kind of um, music or anything of that nature. But that's about it. That's all I have to say on this video. I know it's going to be quick, but thanks for listening. Bye. And if anyone can answer those questions, I would appreciate it. Bye.